Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is game 2 between impunity.storm as well as neos.mrr. First game was a little bit questionable coming from impunity.storm. I would say that they definitely tried their best, but again, a little bit of a misplay. Actually, quite a fair bit of misplay coming from the entire team there, not just the keeper or maybe not just the pebbles. But that being said, a lot of training still needs to be done. And game 2, I would definitely hope that things are a little bit different as compared to game 1. This is Babael, and joining me tonight is Lark.
Yep, that was a really awesome game one to watch, and MR really took it towards Impunity Storm. Really big plays coming out from Shido and X with his initiation. A couple of misplays over there with the tsunami charge, which could have actually
Oh
led
yeah.
to even much more kills in the middle lane. But nonetheless, they did a really good job. The teamwork was just really nice, and it's really unfortunate for Impunity Storm that they could have actually won that game had they not taken just not favorable team fights, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's it. Yeah, that being said, game 1 actually, I would say that Chidamonix did try his very best, and ultimately he is very good with the release the Kraken as compared to the Tsunami Charge. That was always on the ball, and it definitely locked down Nox, it locked down a lot of these key players coming from Impunity Storm, and maybe that being said, we might actually not see a Kraken in this game again. But nope, the first banning phase is actually gonna be completed here. We do have the Engineer, the Keeper, Parasite, and Pestilence being banned out. That means the Tempest is still up for grabs here, and if Colorex is gonna reprise his role in the jungle, playing as the Tempest, it could be possible coming from this game here.
It could be a possibility, yeah, but we'll just have to. Oh, okay. So Sandwraith. Oh my God. Okay, right off the bat, I think there could be a fade pickup for MRR right now, unless Impunity Storm picks it up themselves because they only address Pestilence, Parasite, Keeper, and Engineer. Unless Impunity Storm wants to just go for a straight up Tempest, which I can also see it happening, but you don't want to give up a Fade Sandwraith combination because that's just really damn retarded in my opinion. Because as soon as Fade has that level 6 ultimate, the reflection just goes around, spots someone out, boom, straight away Sandwraith ports in, you get a kill, that's done. You get more gold and Sandwraith, more levels, and he just steamrolls the entire game.
Yeah, man. Well, that being said, it's gonna be a Sandwraith, like you nicely pointed out, Sandwraith plus the MOA, and they are actually gonna have to deal with the Sandwraith in this game. Sandwraith, very effective on DQ. It is one of his favorite carry. I've spoken to him about this before, and he says that with Sandwraith he is confident of getting very high GPM levels above 500, in fact. And that being said, Sandwraith does provide a lot of roaming potential with ganks involved. He does have the Merge at level 6, and once he does pop it up, Sandwraith plus any meat engagement decent hero should be able to make sure that it would be a kill. And Impunity Storm needs to be really careful when it comes to that. There's going to be a little bandwidth available for individual play there. And yep, I'm just going to be waiting here for them to pick what kind of hero for Nox.
Yeah, I think for Nox, if he's ready to go for Revenant, I actually think that Dampier would be pretty freaking good. Like Nox, that's just Nox's favorite. Nox's most favorite hero, in my opinion, and we used to see him play that a lot, especially when he was still in Team Excellent, and he used to get like just freakishly weird. Like, how the hell do you get that kind of GPM kind of a goal per minute in the games? Like, it was always like something like 500 by the time it was only what 15 minutes in or so. Yeah, it doesn't seem as that much, but for the playstyle that they do, it's pretty damn good. They're actually gonna go with Kraken again for that mid lane, so Chido1X is gonna be using that. I'm surprised that they didn't pick up the Fade. They could actually still pick it up as that secondary support like we saw in the first game. MR, they kind of found space with that Fade, although Fade missed a lot of his Burning Shadows as well, and that was because he didn't have the ability to just jump it really quickly with a portal key, because he went for more of that shrunken head route after the Steam Boot, so kind of questionable decision item pickups over there. But nonetheless, he made it work because he was able to roam around and help the rest of his team. They will go for bubbles as a response for Hellborn. That's a little bit unsettling for me, in my opinion, because I'm not sure how VN Sensation will kind of like deal with this hero, seeing as to how he's like sitting about like what 500 or plus, or almost 500, ping, and it's gonna definitely play a factor into when the response time kicks in when he uses that ultimate. Will it come out? It'll probably come out like 1 second later, 2 seconds later. It really depends on the ping, so that could be an issue as well. But that's a good hero for Hellborn team because they have the Revelar as well. It just allows Revelar to move around and pick off kills whenever he can. Just keep auto attacking away with the power overwhelming on top of Master of Arms, who has that defensive and offensive Master's Call coming up for him.
Yep. I'm just really keen to see Emperor on Revenor so far, because with Revenor, I hope that he's going to attain different success levels compared to the Pebbles. I'm not saying his Pebbles is outright bad, I'm just saying that maybe with Revenor he can deal a lot of damage with Stormblades, and is inherently a little bit more tankish to a certain extent. That being said, game actually now well underway, and Kraken's still gonna be the pick here for Team Illusion MRR, and it's still a little bit possible. And ColorX, they're gonna ban out Tempest themselves, and that would be interesting to watch, as well as the fact that Nova gonna ban out the Hack, and ColorX again gonna ban out Moon Queen, following with a Fate ban. So Fate definitely did a lot of work there in the first game. Do note that Fate was the main reason why there was a lot of engagement as well. He was always in the shadows there with Reflection plus the Burning Shadow coming out really quickly. This secured a lot of kill as well as gank potential. So this is a game without a Fate, and I hope the MR will be able to cope with that. They have Saturn to work with and Kraken, but the thing is, with a Pebbles or with a Fate, it's going to be a lot easier for Sam to work with them as compared to a Kraken. And that is something that you have to agree with, because Kraken doesn't have the most impressive stun skills, it doesn't have the easiest skills to use, and isn't inherently as efficient as a roamer or a ganker compared to the Pebbles or the Fate. So that being said, Samurais' potential in terms of ganking for this game might be a little bit limited in a sense.
Yeah, definitely, and I 100% agree with you there. Like, it's just making more use of like a Fade or a Pebbles is so much more better. They do have a Luna though, so if Sandray ports in, tries to set up a kill for on one of the heroes coming out from Hellborn team, Luna just throws in a red power snipe and deals a hefty amount of damage, enough for Sandray to pick up that last hit. If not even the last hit, at least he gets the EXP because he's in the vicinity. They're picking up the kill. That's more assist gold for Luna, more, which translates into more items for himself. Can buy more wards. They have more map vision. There's a lot of things it translates into. I'm actually surprised that ColorX or MR in that sense banned out the Tempest instead of keeping it, because they do have the first pick out of this second picking stage, sorry, and having the Tempest on top of Kraken would be so huge in my opinion. That just means you're gonna output a lot of damage, and you're sucking them in really fast because of the way that Kraken ultimate works and the Tempest ultimate. But I guess they just don't want to go for it. Maybe ColorX is not as confident anymore in his Tempest base. Could be one of the points over there. But I still think that Tempest is a really strong hero. Shouldn't have actually banned it out. Should have just waited for Impunity.storm. Because if they didn't ban it out, Impunity.storm would have to waste a ban on that, which means that opens up another spot for them to pick up another hero. But they're gonna go for Witch Slayer as a secondary support, I believe. Like I always say, I really hate Witch Slayer in a supporting role. But if ColorX is able to do this really nicely and get early items, something like even a tablet before even a portal key would be pretty good as well, because it gives him stats. Then it could translate to some really good ganks for this Legion team, because they need ganks. The main aim of them is to get ganks with the Sand Reef.
That's right, and with Witch Slayer, things are definitely going to be a lot easier as compared to a team without it. That being said, though, help on team, the carry still not being addressed here, and they should actually have that nicely thought about. MOA actually should be on Nova. I would believe that Bubbles should be on VN Sensation, and with Emperor on Revenant. That means that we still have Bastom as well as Nox. Here's not picked yet, and I'm actually hoping for Dark Lady pick on the help on team.
Dark Lady?
Yeah, Dark Lady would be able to counter Seraph to a certain extent, and also the fact that Nox plays Dark Lady really well. He does farm really good with them. But that makes it still going to be Andromeda pickup by Team Hellborn, and I wonder how it's going to be right now.
I like the Andro pick, I really do, because anyone that gets caught up by Kraken Ultimate, Andromeda just pays with his own life and gets his teammate out of danger. If something, it could be used on something like a Bubbles if he gets out of like in the wrong position, or even for Revenor who jumps in first, swap him back out, and then he's able to survive for a bit. Andromeda goes in, throws out a stun, maybe even Aurora before he dies. At least he keeps the rest of his team alive, and if his team is able to capitalize onto that would be very huge. This could potentially be a Corrupted Disciple pick, and I think that's actually pretty damn good for Hellborn lineup. It will take out a lot of the damage coming from Sandwraith, because he's able to sap it up with the Corrupted Conduit. So that's another good skill coming up from Corrupted Disciple against the Richard, not the Richard Hack, sorry, the Sandwraith, and that could be very good for their early team aggression. Like, because you have the Bubbles, you have Andro, you have Revenor, and this Massive Arms. That just means you have 3 reliable stuns right now, And you have Bubbles who will have a stun at level 6 once he gets that Kelp Field ultimate. So that just means you lock someone in place long enough for Corrupted Disciples to just wail on them and completely destroy them. Because if you lock someone down long enough, Corrupted Conduit at max level will drain up to 200 attack damage, and that's huge for a Corrupted Disciple who has really fast attack speed.
Yep, that being said, they have a lodestone being picked up on Team Legion, and that's gonna mean a lot of AoE potential coming from them. But it's gonna be a corrupted disciple for Team Hellborn, and a wide variety of reasons why I don't like CD on Nox. Simply because he is such a snowball kind of a farm that he does a lot of farming well in the mid game and even the late game. CD is not a kind of hero that has got the potential into the very late stages of this game. I do believe that he should be inherently a little bit more effective against the Sandrift because of the corrupted conduit. However, I don't see it as a hero that needs an excessive amount of farm, and that may not be too good for Team Hellborn. I mean, with Nox, he does farm a lot, and I mean, it's gonna be good if they can end this game early, but if it doesn't, then it's gonna be pretty questionable. That being said, the game 2 now well underway here, and ladies and gentlemen, you are actually watching Epic Gaming Television, and if you like whatever we bring you, what kind of coverage it is, do like us on Facebook as well as on YouTube. We have all the VODs for the entire cycle. It will be uploaded there in due time. That being said, I'm now going to introduce this place as well as team. Game 2, well underway between impunity.storm and neos.mrr. And on Team Legion this time around, it's going to be neos.mrr from Thailand. Colorex going to be your Witch Slayer. Bomb Rusher Paul onto the Aluna. Cheetah1X on Kraken. Duikyu reprising his favorite carry, and that's going to be Sandrift. 07TV1 going to be in the offlane. That will be your Lodestone. That's on Team Hellborn. We're going to Impunity Storm, and they need to make this into, at best, a tie for this entire series. And before we go there, it seems like engagement is going to be on the way here. The stun's going to land on Wishler really quickly, and ball line is going to follow up, and that's going to be a bloodless. So VN Sensation is going to get it really quickly. And that being said, a lot of a nice advantage coming up for Team Hellborn already. Novar, definitely going to be the captain and drafter. He is going to be your Andromeda. Bastom onto the MOA. Nox going to be your Corrupted Disciple carry. Emperor going to be on the Revenant. And last but not least, we've got VN Sensation, and that will be the Bubbles.
Yep, and you can see that was a really good pickup for them because they are running without a jungle strategy. In fact, both teams aren't. And that was just huge for them because they get that early advantage, and Impunity Storm really needs that to, further snowball in this game. You see, it's gonna be a straight up tri lane, I believe. Master of Arms, Andromeda, and Revenant. This is a completely overkill lane because if either Sandreef or Witchslayer gets caught up by one of the stuns coming up from this, like either this Andromeda or this Master of Arms, they're dead. There's no way you're gonna come back from that because they have stuns that, if chained correctly, will last long enough for you to die. And that's and by the way, their stuns are single target, so it's not like a skill shot. It's definitely gonna hit you. There is no way that you can avoid it unless you have something like a portal key, which I don't think they have this early in this game. But yeah, Sandreef does have a Desert's Curse to work with, so if he's close to the trees, maybe there is that slight chance that he could survive, but I highly doubt so, seeing as to how they have really long stuns. Andromeda stuns like 1.75 seconds, Master of Arms is about 1.2, you have Revenant there who gets a 0.5 second stun and another 1.5 as soon as he teleports to you. So even though Sandreef is able to juke through the trees, Revenant just instantly pops up in his face and he's like, oh shit, what do I do now?
Yep, and that being said, it seems like a game is actually gonna resume quickly. And you nicely pointed out by you there about the point stun from Team Hellborn. I was about to say that of course you can definitely try and start a creep, and that happens from time to time as well, but I'm not expecting that from these players, and definitely hoping that this game is gonna be a lot better as compared to game 1. And game 2, man, now well on the way. The tri-lane is going to be full effect here against the Sandrift, and Sandrift is going to be completely addressed in the early stages of this game. That being said, though, the camp is not being warded here, so he does have the pull camp to work with. And if he does get a sizable amount of level, it should be pretty effective. Duikyu actually is going to land a Ward of Wrath there to nicely block out the Ward of Sight so that there is no extra gank potential coming up from Team Hellborn. That being said, mid lane is going to be Witch Slayer plus Kraken head to head against VN Sensation. He is going to be Bubbles in the mid lane, and at the top lane, it will be Corrupted Disciple Nox against the Lodestone as well as the Aluna.
Yeah, and by the way, Duakyu did a really good job. Yes, Presence of Mind is really on the ball today. Like, he used the Ward of Revelation, denied the ward behind the tower coming out from Nova. That just means they can't really gank him. He should be fairly alright. Although they saw that what was happening and they know that this pull camp has been stacked. You see already there are in the vicinity. If Sandreef isn't as careful, actually he's gonna get spotted there by Andromeda. So he won't be able to really pull this wave of creeps out if he wants to. As you see, Master of Arms already doing the most annoying thing ever and is just gonna pull that away. That just means that now Sandreef cannot stack this. It's still double stacked. Will not be able to pull it, so the lane is still in favor for Revenor, and Revenor is already at level 3 by the way, so he's getting a lot of farm. If you look at the stats, he's 12 and 6 already, so he's doing really good.
Yep, that's it. The Wall of Rev is also in effect there, so the camp will not be able to stack further than 2 stacked camps. And yep, the creeps are actually going to get a little bit lost there and confused. They're actually going for the NC. And wow, actually it's going to miss the pull. Only the range creep, the Archer, going in the sense in the direction, and it's going to be pretty questionable. That said though, we do have a little bit of rotation coming from the Hellborn team. Andromeda as well as the MOA is going to rotate back to the mid lane as well as the top lane. Bubbles doing pretty well at the mid lane, level 3 against the Kraken. He does have the range to work with. Kraken does have Splash, and I do believe that Splash helps him farm a lot. But that being said though, it's going to deal a little bit of damage, and here comes Witch Lair. Maybe a stun's going to happen quickly, but the take cover is going to be effective. And that being said, top lane, Nox going to be out of trouble, and Electric Tide's going up, but definitely Nox is going down. And Bomb Rusher Paul is able to pick up the kill quickly.
Yep, really good rotation. Well, I don't even think rotation is just the way that the lanes was set up. I mean, oh, Luna.
Yeah, but Luna actually going to be a little bit of trouble there. The comment's going to land from Andromeda, and there goes the stun from the MOA. Luna going to be a little trouble, looking around away, but may not be able to get it down there. Last hit from Nova. Should be able to just nicely tie this one up, and there we go. But it seems like they are actually also wanting to kill on the low stone. CD is already in the vicinity, but CD will not get anything done really.
Yep. I actually thought that maybe there was a slight chance that Luna might have survived had Lodestone used the rocket drill, but I don't think he had enough mana. Either that or, okay, I guess even if he used the stun, he would have died.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry, just I thought that Sarah was in a little bit of a grave danger, but he should be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, Luna ported bot as well, so again, rotation coming out from Legion team, just making the necessary adjustments. They think that the tri-lane is still here, that's why you see Witch Slayer moving about as well. Kraken has been doing a really good, not doing really good, he's been having a really good time at mid, although Bien Sensation is doing slightly better because he had the support, if I'm not mistaken. Coming out from the rotation after that previous engagement. Kraken himself, he does have his bottle, gonna pick up the refreshment rune at the bottom lane, but yeah, Vin's station on his close to 500 ping is actually sitting at a 14 to 12, so he's doing a really, really good job here.
Yep, he is doing a really good job. That being said, we do have the CS hero on the screen, and Vin's decision, hold that thought a little bit because Emperor deciding to jump a little bit onto the Sandreef. He does have the Storm Blades there already in effect, and we'll land a little bit of extra harassment onto Sandreef. But before I talk too much about that one there, we do have the mid lane. Vin's decision is about 14 and 2, whereas for Kraken about 24 and 6. So a little bit ahead. Kraken should be able to do pretty well against the Bubble, but Bubble still will be able to get sizable amount of farm in his entire lane, and that means that we should be looking at Bubbles with pretty good ganking potential well into the mid game.
Definitely. Bubbles, okay, gonna get hit by the torrent over there. As soon as he hits level 6, definitely gonna rotate around, set up ganks wherever he can. Sandreef is still sitting at level 4, only on an iron shield and little red boots. If you look at his stats, he's 13 and 4 as compared to Emperor, who's
okay, Joe's gonna hit top lane down. Nox gonna be out of trouble. Here comes the Witch Layer stun, and it should be enough. The last hit from the Witch Layer. Oh, it's not gonna be because the Hour Potion will save Nox there. So what a clutch gameplay. But that being said, down south the gank is also gonna happen on DQ playing to Sandreef, but Sandreef should be able to keep safe though.
Yeah, holy shit, I'm actually surprised that Corrupted Disciples were able to survive. Really clutch health potion coming out from there. Lodestone, of course, had to back out if not, because he was in tower range. I don't think, maybe there would have been a chance that they would be able to pick up the kill.
Try and do
but,
something
yeah.
cheesy here, but the Curry's gonna spot that one out, and here comes the Emperor. Oh, wow. It's gonna be in effect there, yep, but didn't kill Nox, and now he does have the health potion to work with, so he should be fine.
Yeah, wow, I was actually surprised that Luna was able to get that snipe just, just by seeing where the career's movement was going to. Really, really well played there. Again,
Yeah.
really, that's just the Princess Wine again coming into play, coming from MR. They've been on the ball today for some reason, but they need to be a little bit more on the ball at this bottom lane because Sandreef is not getting the farm that he needs in the space that he really needs for more farm, because Revenor is just shutting him down completely due to the fact that they had that really aggressive tri-lane at the start. But top lane, Lodestone.
Yep, Lodestone. I mean, Lodestone's gonna be fine, and in general, just comparing farm, comparing carry against carry vis-a-vis here, we should be looking at Sandreef about 18 and 5 as compared to the Corrupted Disciples 27 and 8. That being said, CD, despite having the dual lane up north, it's not really effective, or rather working against the CD. They did manage to kill him once, but maybe the stun down south should be happening quickly here, and here comes the ball landing, one last hit, and it's gonna be a kill. Emperor will be able to finish out 3Q there, and that's gonna help his team a lot.
Whew, really nicely played by him, and super huge overextension by Do I Kill You, and you don't want to do that seeing as though you're so far behind and you're giving more farm for the initiator there coming out the Hellburn team. Emperor's doing a really good job this game. He's sitting at level 7 already. Can probably even rotate around if he wants to. Probably should and set up more kills. Or could even stay at the bottom lane and just shut down Sanreef even more. But Sanreef is already level 6 by the way. And the supports coming in from Legion's lineup, they aren't doing much work, and this is the reason why I don't like Witch Slayer support.
Might be spotted out here. Yeah, he will be, and Aurora will be able to just spot him. But I do believe that they don't have what it takes to catch up with this Lodestone.
Yeah, exactly. And Lodestone will be safe. I mean, he does have Rocket Drill as well. It's really difficult to catch him. He is almost going to reach level 6 soon with that Shatterstorm ability, so it could probably help the rest of his teammates. Like, again, it's coming back to my earlier point, like Witch Slayer support not doing much right now. That only has a...
Oh, we got the overcharge on landing on Lodestone in the top lane though. Maybe with the combat there, he should be able to just run away because Rocket Joe was already being casted. And it's a little bit sad to see, but they do waste a lot of mana there. And here comes the Sandry. Where is he gonna pot? That's the question. He's gonna try and kill the Bubbles at the mid lane. And Bubbles now gonna overextend into the Legion jungle. VN Sensation looking to make something happen here. There is no ally in the vicinity. This is man behind enemy lines. He's just looking to pot into this completely uncharted water behind these trees here, looking for... Even the stun's not gonna connect, he should be able to pot away safely. But he's just making this his newfound home, you know?
Yeah, that was so close, and they thought that he was already gone because the stun didn't connect, and it was really lucky for him because his portal key, well not portal, his homecoming was off.
Emperor should be able to know something's wrong here. They did see the gang coming out onto the Bubbles, but no, Emperor doesn't know it. It seems like he is able to just nicely land the ball. Lightning may not be able to run away from this episode here. He should be in a lot of trouble. Tsunami Charge is going to connect, and he will go down.
That splash, yeah, that was really huge. That double damage also was able to pick up the kill on them. Just really good rotation. Now coming out from MRR, previously it was impunity.storm that was doing the good rotation over there, but yeah, at least now MRR they're able to pick up some kills, at least slow down Emperor a bit because he's been steamrolling this bottom lane pretty hard, but nonetheless you see Sanreef, he is at least at level 7, so he wasn't pushed back that far because they used to try lane but then eventually backed off after that because top lane was having a really hard time. That was Nox there on the Corrupted Disciples, so I gotta say that their tri lane aggression died down, and that just means now that, you know, the Sandreef is going to be able to pick up on more farm himself. He's going to go for ghost marches, by the way, because he's so far behind in this game and just wants to set up for early kills and as soon as possible.
Yep, and Bubbles is actually going to rotate down to the bottom lane a little bit there. And that being said, Corrupted Disciple have got pretty good farm, 50 creep kills already and about close to 300 GPM. If he doesn't die, or rather if he didn't die in the earlier part of this game, he should be able to just get about 230 plus GPM. That's pretty decent. That being said, Kraken is also leading the entire chart for the Legion team at about 225. And hold that topic is middle lane, a little bit of engagement from Emperor onto the Lodestone. But Lodestone is inherently a little bit more tanky as compared to the Sandreef, so he should be fine.
The damage output from this Revenor is just so strong, and Lodestone, the funny thing was, even after he used the head smash, like Revenor didn't take as much damage as compared to Lodestone himself. He was about to like kill himself. That would have been actually pretty dangerous had Revenor's skills been off cooldown, but of course it's not that quick, so he will be fine. But yeah, bottom lane Bubbles is gonna pick up on Steam Boots, I believe. Maybe? No? Okay, yeah, he doesn't have enough gold. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong hero. But yeah, he does have a regeneration in his bottle right now. Can probably just lay some harass.
Start from a Luna onto Emperor. Can it make something work in the mid lane? Don't think so, because Emperor does have wings and he does fly. For you guys who don't know that, yep.
Yeah, he has wings and can fly. Okay, yeah, but the top lane, there is currently no one addressing this right now, and Nox is just going to be able to pick up on a lot of farm, and you don't want to do that with a Corrupted Disciple. He's going to be... As soon as he picks up his Firebrand and probably even the Shrunken Head next, he's gonna just completely destroy your entire team, because with his Witch Slayer and Luna gonna really do. There is that Kraken ultimate that will kind of lock him in place for a bit, but still it's not gonna be as enough.
Yep, and that being said, 11 minutes up already, 2:3, a lot of water coming from this Kraken onto the Revenor. And Torrent there doing a lot of effect onto Revenor. It does make sure that he is somewhat slow, and should that be a gang, it would be a done deal. So Emperor's playing really safe right now. And the splash also going to be smashing into his face. That being said, top lane, 11 minutes, 30 seconds going to be up here. 2:3, and like I mentioned before, Nox is just such a GPM bitch. You don't want to give them the space there. But that being said, Graveyard stun's going to land with a Kraken ultimate. And maybe a like extra pot is going to happen. And Ball Lightning going to stun Kraken a little bit. But Kraken looking for the extra splash potential. And he does get it off there. But Kraken now is going to pay the price though. He may actually go down here and CD is going to be able to pick up the kill. So that's going to be really worth it because he used to be leading the entire GP for the entire game. But with that kill, Corrupted Disciple will now overtake his spot.
Yeah, that's a huge dive actually coming up from Kraken when most of his teammates weren't even in the vicinity. But the thing is, they committed 3 ports there in the middle lane. So that opens up even much more space. Sandreef will pick up this kill on Massive Arm, so that was
It's a little bit sad to see that our friend from the outer space will not be able to run against a Ghost with a little bit of interesting weapon there, a little bit of a too big weapon, but
yeah.
I mean he does have that lizard gun, just use it for God's sake. Of course I'm kidding. Level 3 MOA, what can you do against like a level 8 Sandreef that has have that Ghost Marcher? So that's a problem though, because MOA is playing as a support and he should not have overextended, and I do believe that's a little bit of a mistake on his part.
Yeah, his positioning was really off. I mean, you had already committed so many ports mid, you should know that you're gonna die if you don't back off, and you saw right there, he did. Sandreef was able to pick up the kill, that just boosts him up even more. He is sitting at 250 gold per minute now, so doing relatively okay as compared to Nox, who is at 350. But the thing is, he had to face the tri-lane aggression at the start and was had even died to a solo Emperor. He might even die here again because Andromeda's in Viz right now. Bubbles is in fact gonna walk over, but I think Sandreef should be able to survive this.
Yeah, but there is no swap on Andromeda yet. There is, yeah, not gonna happen. Meanwhile, top lane though, they are gonna address CD. CD actually looking to be a lot of trouble there, and the Shadow Storm is gonna go off, but Lodestone will be able to just run away there. MOA not able to do much of things. Should Lodestone be safe? This would be beyond ridiculous, man, because Lodestone is gonna walk into a pool of creeps there, and I don't know, but he's doing a really good job so far surviving, and a little bit questionable, but maybe the ace up my sleeve should be able to land quickly. But Bestom, this is his time to shine. Oh my god.
Oh no. Completely missed.
Missed by a few kilometers there. But that being said though, there's also a separate action happening all across the map. 3Q does go down. Eventually the gang did materialize, and it seems like Bubbles is able to pick up the kill, so VN Sensation will do it well. And then mid lane there, Cheetah1X also able to pick up Emperor. Emperor will be able to go down again, and that is going to make Emperor 1-3 and 2. And VN Sensation doing very well, 2-0 and 0 so far.
Yeah, he is doing really well. They were even able to pick up the kill onto Do I Kill You Again at the bottom lane. So
hold that top because of Luna.
Yep.
Might be a little bit of a tight spot right here. She's gonna try and pitch for Amazon friends, but will not get it done. It seems like again, a little bit questionable. The pot is going to be well on the way here, but the Comet is going to land, and that's going to end the dream of the Luna. Yeah, she is going down. That's it, top lane. A little bit of extra engagement happening again. Corrupted Conduit landing there quickly, but here comes Richland with the gank from the Sandreef. This could be a kill. Nox does have the Energizer. It could be quick enough, but no. It's not going to be fast enough because the Desert Curse is going to slow him a little bit and will, at the same time, give Sandreef extra movement speed. I think it does, right?
Yeah, it does. Oh, Kraken does pick up Nova in the meantime, by the way, with double damage and
again, yeah, the luck.
The tsunami charge. So really, really strong there. Strong performance coming out. Actually, it's hard to say. Like both teams are getting good pickoffs themselves, and a lot of misplays as well by a couple of other players. That was really funny actually to see Bubbles use the shell surf and just jump into the trees. But yeah, at least they were able to pick up the kill on Andro at bottom. But you see Kraken now has portal key. Oh, Revener, be careful.
Yep, Revenant, 3-second stance there, and reverse tsunami charge is first and Cheetah1X actually gonna get it off. It seems like it was pretty impossible in the previous game, but right now Emperor looking to try and sidestep away the stun from Witcher, but the miniaturization is gonna land, and that's gonna mean a kill for Cheetah1X again. And Emperor is gonna be standing at a 1-4 and 2. That being said, 15 minutes, 30 seconds, gonna be up 9-6, and MRR, man, they are having a slight lead as compared to the previous game here. 500 gold lead, may not be a lot, but still better than not having a lead at all.
Yeah, and big part of their success in middle lane was the fact that Aluna got the red Aluna, the red Emerald Lightning onto the creep. That was a 3-second stun on Revenor, enough time for that freshly bought Portal Key and Kraken to come into effectiveness right there, and really good rotation coming up from this Witch Slayer as well. So at least Witch Slayer is finally doing something now to redeem himself for earlier on. He does have the Silver Bullet by the way as well, so he's level 6, level 3 miniaturization and Graveyard Stun on top of that, so can easily pick up kills anytime that Silver Bullet is off cooldown, even when it's not off cooldown. Just having that stun and hex ability is just really good. Top lane though.
Oh, top lane, stun coming in with that. It should be a swap, and look at that. Nova gonna take the fall for his carry. That is what a noble sacrifice.
Yeah, it really is, and that's what his job is in this game. Like that, Andrew Sop was
supposed to die.
Yep, Lodestone does even have Portal Key.
Emperor is not gonna land the ball lightning. That's a little bit sad to see, but yeah.
It's kind of easy to.
It's gonna be a little bit of a tight spot right now. The stun from the Witcher is gonna connect, and here comes the Sandreef. things are not looking good. Emperor might go down there, and he will. It seems like Corrupted Disciple will also get chased by the Ghost in just donning those really weird ropes there. But Sandra's doing a lot of work against the CD. And the man with the electric is not gonna have it done there. Bubbles coming in, VN Sensation looking to make something happen, but will again not get anything done. And that's it, Kraken is gonna be hiding behind enemy line so far, and just gonna pop by and say hi. Could be a little bit of a tight spot by. I have no idea what VN Sensation is doing, but he is definitely looking set to go down there. Torrent's gonna land quickly, but he does pick up the Sand Wave, and that is a huge achievement for him. But it seems like the carry is also gonna be a little bit of a tight spot there. Tsunami Charge in full effect. Nova's gonna land a combat. That's gonna help him a lot, but he doesn't have the ulti to work with, and that's it for Kraken, man. He doesn't have much of a skill left. Only Torrent, and that should not pick up a kill on the CD. CD is gonna be safe. The Raid Power Throw is gonna miss a little bit, but not like really matters. Kraken soaking a lot of tower damage. I think that's a little bit of a. I don't know if it's lag or just BM, but it's saying that the tower doesn't hurt him, man.
Lag or BM? Yeah, I think that was probably lag. I don't think that was BM. Unless of course I could be mistaken. I mean, he is pretty tanky, and that's an Andromeda that we're talking about. I think he was just looking for the angle to port in.
Here comes Lodestone. Rocket Drill is gonna miss, sidestepped by Nova. Nova looking pretty good. Tsunami Charge again gonna miss, and Nova's gonna land the combat. Oh, but Nova is gonna be living the tight spot there. The Raid Master's Call is gonna be in full effect. The Shadow Storm is gonna be channeled, but it seems like CD is gonna pop by and say hi, and it's gonna be wasted. That's gonna be a completely naked Lodestone. Somebody raped this guy today, and the stun is not gonna land. Unfortunately, it seems like the Corrupted Conduit will do the work though, and down goes 07 TV1. Wow.
What the? Oh my god. I don't know. Like Lodestone could have used the drill to survive rather than juking, but yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to tell. I think he would have still died even though he used the rocket drill because he didn't have enough mana for that portal key, and that energizer was already in effect on the Corrupted Disciple. He is, by the way, very close to finishing his shrunken hit, which I haven't talked much about. So that's a very good item for his team fight presence in the next couple of team fights.
Revenant should be fine. And that being said, though, Chop is to 8 so far. 1k goal lead. Things definitely looking pretty well for Neolution MR so far. Luna gonna be a tight spot, and Bomb Rusher Paul is gonna make sure that they will lose their goal lead completely. But here comes Kraken to try and salvage the situation. With the Kraken ultimate, things are definitely gonna be a possibility there. Bubbles will go down, and it seems like Sandrift will actually commit to this kill here. And maybe the stun on Revenant is going to be the mob that one up. The MOA goes down. It seems like Revenant is also going to go down. Silver Bullet being used here. It seems like Nox is going to come by here and swing by the kill, which there it's going to be pretty alright. Congo just saying hi. Kraken is going to be fine, and in the other part of the engagement, Sandrift is actually going to be able to face off with Nova. Aurora is going to be out there, but there is no more support because the rest of their members are all in hell. And that being said, it's only Nox as well as Nova that's only remaining. And that being said, 15 to 10 and 2k goal lead in favor of MR.
Oh no, it missed.
Power throw, you man? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to hit them.
So well, it was pretty far off, even if but Nova had that quick sidestep there as well. But even then, it was just really far. I have to give huge props to Cheetah1X for always trying to portal key in and get Tsunami Charge off, even though he did miss it there. But still, he's doing a decent job for his team. And he's been able to set up a lot of kills, even getting return kills, as you saw there on that Pebbles, not Pebbles, so Bubbles, who just used the kelp field on that solo Luna. So that was a really good trade for them. Like a Luna for a Bubbles is, you want to take that trade any time of the day.
Yep, and that's it. It seems like a Hellborn team right now are in a little bit of a not so good position, if you ask me. 20 minutes in and 3.6k gold deficit for them. 15 to 10. They need to make something happen. Nox has got pretty good form so far. 370 plus GPM. But he does have to work with the Sandrift at 337 as well as the Kraken at about 390. Kraken is the main reason why the Legion team is just doing so well in this entire game. He has got very good farm, number one. Number two, he has been ganking a lot. If you look at his kill, it's 6, 1, and 3. That was previously Nox's kill count, or rather that CS there in terms of your kill. But that being said, it's going to be pretty well. And Kraken is actually very well appreciated in his entire Legion lineup.
Yep, and he could probably go for a Soul's Bulwark as his next item pickup and just leave the Barrier Idol to Lodestone if he wants to. They don't really need it as early in the game. It will block out a lot of magical damage, but they need something to counter off the Corrupted Disciple because he's just going to be doing a lot of auto attack damage. So see right there, Soul's Bulwark is in the works. I think that's just the pattern as well as one of the ring mills. But yeah, you see right now, Luna is gonna go ahead and try to pick up a push brook soon.
Oh, Revenar gonna be a lot of trouble right now. Emperor is actually looking to go down. It seems like one tsunami charge is gonna be out there. Shidamanex is gonna pick up the kill again, and that's gonna escalate him to about 7-1 entry. He does own Emperor, by the way, so that means he does kill him. He did kill him 3 times already, and I mean Revenar in this game, again, you see he's supposed to gank, but there is not much of a gank coming from the Revenar.
Yep, and they're gonna
No
deny top
goodies
tower,
for you.
so yep, just gonna deny even that much more gold from Hellburn lineup. And like Hellburn team is just in a rut right now. They can't find farm for the supports, which is very huge. Like you really need that on, especially when you're running dual supports. And Corrupted Disciple he's doing very well for his team. Like even though they can't take favorable team fights, he's doing a really good job of at least keeping his GPM up. But Revenar doesn't have a portal key yet. That's really sad to see. That not even gonna be anywhere close to getting a shrunken head anytime soon. So that's another problem as well for them. Bubbles at least has a portal key, can probably even work for his Culture Sheepstick next. That would be a huge item for them to kind of lock down one of the heroes from this Legion lineup. But yeah, Sandreef will be fine.
After you say we'll be fine, we have to see if that actually hits, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
More of the story is please don't jump to conclusion here. That being said, mid lane is going to be challenged by Shidamanex alone, and Sandreef was fine ultimately, so that's okay. 16 is to 10 here. And mid lane, I mean, so far in terms of tower, we still have the tier 1 at mid for Legion, whereas the Hellborn, all tier 1s are almost done except for the top. So I would say that the towers are pretty okay, except for the fact that they did deny, as in Legion did deny one tower from the Hellborn. That's the tower at the top lane. So now Sandreef looking to pot somewhere, or rather not, he's actually going to kill the Bubbles, and that's a little bit sad to see because Bubbles was doing so well in the early stages of this game, but it seems like he does have met with a little bit of a roadblock there with the portal key completed only.
Yep, and that was good placement by, well not placement, but positioning of Witchslayer, just waiting in the trees, used all his spells, Graveyard, Miniaturize, and that Silver Bullet. He's gonna go for the Tablet of Command like I mentioned earlier, that will give him a lot more stats.
Oh, Kraken Haystack looking for a kill on the Bastom. Bastom like the MO is gonna pop the Raymaster Skull, but completely denied with just one hit. Haystack my Sliv is gonna miss, or rather will hit, but will not do much of a thing against a Haystack Kraken. The Rocket Drill is a little bit wasted, so is the Kraken Ultimate, but that should be able to deny any pot in there.
Yeah, I was actually hoping. I was like, oh, because I was wondering who was gonna port in, but cancelled that. I think it was, I don't know who it was that was trying to port there, but yeah, good decision for them to not go ahead with that because they would have died had they just jumped into the Kraken Ultimate. There is a Bound Eye, by the way, picked up on the Luna, so that will provide them even that much more map vision and ability to deward. That's good for them. Although they're not gonna spot anything here.
Yeah, they will spot the best out of sight up here.
Yeah, there we go. That's really good, and they can even take this, steal out this double stacked Ancient Cam after they push this, or at least do some chip damage to his tier 2. As Bubbles is in the vicinity, and Andromeda only has Steam Boots, by the way, so they can't really do much, and Master of Arms is, yeah, best Master of Arms.
Yeah, and that being said, here comes the Bubbles. He's gonna pot in quickly with the cap of the field being used already, and it seems like Lodestone is gonna go down quickly. Shidamanex does try to charge his way out of there, but he does have double damage, and it should be easy for a kill for Nux. Nux gonna pick up the double tap there, and that's it. It seems like 24 minutes is gonna be up, and CD does have 8 charges on his Crafted Conduit. That gives him a shit ton of damage, man. 300 damage already, and Kongor is going to be attempted by Team Hellborn. But what they don't know is that there is a ward of sight here, which means the Legion team knows that the Kong attempt is going to be well on the way. The problem is, can they do something about this?
I highly doubt they can. I mean, they just lost their Kraken and their Lodestone. Those are huge, parts of their lineup right there in this game. So they can't really do anything after that. They might get, they're gonna get this kill on the Witchslayer.
Yeah, but here comes the Sandreef, and Sandreef is going to be able to pot right next to Witchslayer, so Bubbles is going down, and Kongor is left unkilled. And that's a problem. Silver Bullet gonna secure the kill on Revenar. Speaking about killing evil there. And that being said, Emperor going down. 21 is to 12. Lodestone, no idea why. Again, he decided to strip naked in front of a bunch of creeps, but they are gonna get Kongor, and that's gonna be really green for Team Hellborn right now.
This is really good. I actually thought that Mirage was off cooldown, but on cooldown, sorry, but good use there, and they saved that Witchslayer. They are able to pick the token up, so they wipe out impunity.storm. That's good for them. They can even push down the tier 2 in the mid, even at the bottom, because bottom's taking a lot of damage as well. They're gonna get this regen and Lodestone. Give it Sandreef. Sandreef's gonna go ahead and he has the Mock of Villains finished up, so he's doing a lot of auto attack damage. but he should probably work towards maybe something like a Gym Eaters and even Shrunken Head.
Yeah, I mean, Illusion MR, they clearly know what they're doing in this game as compared to the earlier part of the game, of the first game. But that being said, help on team 9k deficit. Block, do you think that they still have any chance in this game?
They do if they can take favorable team fights, and if Legion team just kind of throws by diving past their tier 2 into their base, because Hellburn team can actually take that.
Bubbles
Here we
is
go.
gonna secure Lodestone. Lodestone is going down quickly because of the burst damage coming from Revenor. So Emperor doing a lot of work there and redeeming himself again. But that being said, 21 is 13 here, and Hellborn team, they do have the token of life on the Sandrift, so that's gonna be really helpful in the next team fight, or rather in the next push coming from the Legion team. That's it, Hellborn. Nox is just farming, always finding a moment to farm there. He does have about 400 plus GTM, may not be the highest ever, but he is still looking at a pretty sizable amount of income here. Do note that he was promptly addressed in earlier parts of this game. That being said, he does have the Shrunken Head completed. He should be looking at Germinus Bane. I don't think it's going to be a Germinus Bane. It should be a Frostburn, considering the fact that he does have the Mighty Blade. But right now, speaking about Nox, man, Silver Bullet going to be used quickly, and yep.
That's the power of Witch Slayer. Just
No, that's
imagine
the
that
power
now.
of the caster's curse. The moment you say something, they die, and that's my power. I'm sitting in the spectator slot. I have the ability to call out who will die next. I wish I had, but again, back to the discussion. He does have the Shrunken Head completed, so it should be a Frostburn.
Yeah, and just like that's the okay. Just coming back to my point about Wish Slayer, that's can you just imagine that if that Wish Slayer was played in that initiation role, that would have been even much more stronger. But at least Colorex is making it work for his team. He actually goes for Void Talisman. That's a good item pickup against this Corrupted Disciple and this well, I shouldn't Corrupted Disciple. I feel like because Revenor, he does do what is it? It does do superior magical damage. It turns his auto attack into superior magical damage rather, so he's still gonna cut through Witch Slayer, especially once he pops up that Void Talisman. I think even the Paroki would have still been the better choice, but I guess he just wants to stay in the fight as long as possible. But I mean, you can still do kind of the same thing with Paroki, so I guess it's still alright since he has that push book. There will be certain amount of initiation potential for him over there. Kraken has been sitting on 1.89k gold, yeah. So probably gonna get his demonic breastplate after a couple of more minutes in this game, as they are looking to set up a gank. This could very
Kraken, the big sea monster from the deep below, is actually gonna be able to just outlive this one. And here comes the low summer. Kraken does go down, not before I pop the ultimate though. It seems like Nox gonna be nicely sucked in by the Takoyaki counterpart of the Kraken. It seems like he also is gonna be chased by Sandrift. He will go down. Emperor gonna be a lot of trouble there. Emperor looking to run away quickly, but Bubbles trying to just make a little bit of a dean there, just so the Emperor will be able to just stay safe. But Emperor is going to be challenged by the Lodestone. He will be able to punch a little bit, but a quad kill for Duik Kill, looking for the Annie. He goes in, he's going to get this. One last poke from the Doofpick. He gets the annihilation. Complete steamroll from Duik Kill onto the Albon.
Wow, that was so fun to see. Yep. And he still retains token, by the way, guys. So yeah, he's pretty insane right now. That's Sandrift. Huge throws I gotta see coming from Hellborn team. Like, they decided to go on a Kraken who's super tanky. Yeah, they killed him, but if you saw that, like Nox, I don't know for what reason or why did he do that. He just ran into the what was it, the release the Kraken ultimate over there. So that was really funny. And yeah, I gotta say, man, they're doing like MRR is just really playing a game right now, and that follow up after getting, I mean, like the backup of that Kraken, that was just really huge. They were able to pick up a lot of kills, and there's huge annihilation play after that, so that's really fun to see.
That's gonna mean that the Sandwraith is just so fat walking the late stage of this game. Do note that I had a little bit of a concern as to whether the Corrupted Disciple can kill a Sandwraith, and it's technically possible to corrupt the conduit, but not in this game. It seems like Sandrift has got 2.7k gold in the bank. Really cold hard cash there. Just can buy himself a Ferrari or something of the sort, but not gonna have that. 17k gold lead. He is gonna pick up his Firebrand, and he does still have the token of life to work with. It is still at 2 minutes before it will be expiring, so that means that the push will be able to end this game if it's gonna materialize in the next 2 minutes. The problem is, can the Hellborn team buy themselves enough time to go into the really late stages where they can in fact pull a bit of a salvation? But here comes the Alien versus the Transformer wanna be there, and it seems like AVP is not gonna happen in this franchise. He is after all gonna go down. Champion Nero gonna call out here for DQ. Nova gonna be in trouble. Another Alien sci-fi firm, but the silver bullet to the face is gonna secure the deal there. So no form of that sword. That being said, 31 minutes is gonna be up 30 is to 14 and 18k goal lead. Hellborn in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, part was cancelled by the way by Bubbles, I think, at middle lane. Luna is doing a good job. Like Luna is manning up against Bubbles. He knows he can because he has that. Like he only sitting 1k HP, but he feels like he's super confident fighting this Bubbles. At least forcing the Bubbles to use Kelphill onto that Luna. So I don't know. Like MR is just really doing really well in this in this game, and Sandreef is gonna get his Geometer's Bane soon. Either that, or it could even be a Dawnbringer. I'm not sure what he's gonna go for. It's kind of hard to tell with Doikyu. Like he sometimes even goes for the Dawnbringer. Still think Geometers would still be the better choice.
Revenant jumping onto Sandreef. This could be a kill, but the Kraken ultimate is gonna deal a lot of damage, and Domina is gonna be Noble sacrificing himself again. It seems like Sandreef will go down. Lowstone stripping himself naked again in front of CD. Not really effective there because he does have a Shrunken Head. It seems like again a little bit of a jump in from VN Sensation. VN Sensation is gonna be fine. Wow! And Kraken is gonna be able to just jump in and smash his head in. That's okay also. MOA going down. Revenant also gonna go down. This ultimate from the Sandreef was actually popped there. So it seems like Legion Dame is gonna win this passionately. And the engagement still going on, and Nox is looking so strong this entire game. But they are also going to be the mop up the kill there. That being said, guys, it's going to be a 2-0 going for MRR.
Yeah, huge win there coming for MRR, man. Really taking it to impunity.storm, man. Like it just didn't feel like impunity.storm was, you know, performing. I wouldn't try to take away anything from them, but I just gotta say that was kind of lackluster in my opinion. Could have done a lot more better, especially seeing as to how they kind of had the better lineup in this game. So it's really unfortunate to see that it turned out this way. Like VN Sensation was actually doing a really good job at the start of the game, but eventually started to dwindle down because the rest of his teammates couldn't help out. Like they were too far behind. Nova and Bastom, they couldn't get anything on themselves. Like you can't have that happen when you're running a dual support strategy over there for this Hellborn team.
Yeah, and that being said, it's going to be a clean 2-0 going to MRR. Do note that there is no game 3, and that's going to give MRR a little bit of a hit start walking to Cycle 4, which brings me back to my next point, and it seems like Cycle 4 is here. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to bring you streams of games every single day. There is no break, unlike the first 3 pathetic cycles. It's going to be interesting. And yep, that is pretty fine, and we're looking at Cycle 4 every single day. Increased coverage from EGTV as well as Garena HoNTourSEA. So just stay tuned to both channel, and I hope you guys like my cast as well as Lark. This entire cast is brought to you by both Babael and Lark. Also the fact that it's a little bit hilarious because we did decide to make it a little bit funny, and if you don't find it funny, you find a little bit offended, would apologize. It's all for the laugh value there. So I hope you guys enjoy that.
It's all in good fun. I mean, you know, you gotta add some flavor into the cast. If not, people just get bored. But
sugar, spice, and everything nice. But that being said, Lark, any last minute shout before taking this off stream?
Big shout out to Fantasy who was able to make it into the stream even though he has classes, I think. Big shout out to the rest of the viewers. Huge shout out to the international players who did drop by the way, and had a lot of comments. You can see that in the chat over there in Twitch. And huge shout out to all the teams. And man, Cycle 4 is looking to be a really good one. And this is what a way to start the first round, by the way, with impunity.storm and MR. It's a really huge game. And also, of course, shout out to EGTV crew lastly. So yeah.
Yep, and that's it. My shout out to all the viewers. Thank you for dropping by. 400 concurrent viewers is an awesome sign. We hope you guys will join us tomorrow as well. It's gonna be a really interesting series between both Impunity Team, Impunity Storm versus Impunity Earth. We hope you guys will be able to catch us for that. And again, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I hope that no one was offended, or rather, no feelings were hurt today. And that being said, this is Babael, with me is Lark. We are going to be back tomorrow at 4 PM for a little bit of interesting joint series on the Reef War part, where we try our best to be competitive Reef War player. Do join us for that. And we will also... No shit, man. I'm just trying hard here, okay? Also, with the fact that we will be able to stream the HoNTourSEA games from 9 PM GMT plus 8. So do join us for that. That's it. This is Babael, with me is Lark. And have a great time wherever you are. See ya.
See you guys. 안녕하세요.